you again. At least we're not waking up as Dallas Mavericks fans today.
Yeah, that was a wild weekend. A lot of emergency pods. You know, we don't really watch basketball a lot, and we have a lot of conspiracies about this. So I'm excited to dive in. I think I might have the juiciest one of all. So I don't know where you want to start with.
I want to start with the juiciest one. I have scandals. I have conspiracies. We need to break this down like only TSH can.
Well, let's talk about what happened. Luka was traded to the Lakers for basically what the NBA Twitter and everybody says is basically nothing. They were robbed of Luka, and he was shipped off to Los Angeles. AD is now in Dallas, and he's a Dallas Mav.
Everyone should be aware that Luka Doncic is one of the best NBA players ever under the age of 26 years old. The amount of points he's been scoring, just going to the NBA Finals and the MVP race every year. This guy is a transcendent superstar. Mike, everyone's aware of that, right?
I told you ahead of time. I wasn't fully aware of how impactful he was. I knew he was good. Listen, I knew the name, obviously. We watched playoff basketball over here. We knew that. Yeah. And this is definitely setting up the Lakers for the future. They know LeBron's going to go. They know they have Bronny. You know, did you hear that MVP chant for Bronny? MVP.
Wait, did he score? Is that why?
One point.
We got one. Not two.
1 point.
Not two.
Yeah,
That'd be crazy if it was a
MVP.
basket.
Yeah.
Just a free throw. I didn't see that. And then Anthony Davis on the other side, people will know him as being like a good player throughout history, but never like the Superman. Always the Robin, always the number 2, always a guy who was like pretty good. He's never won an NBA championship to my knowledge. He's only been the number 2 to LeBron.
He won with LeBron when they got traded to the Lakers during the bubble time. During 2020.
But the bubbles don't count, as we have established many times.
Okay. So
for the Lightning, they don't count. They don't count for the Lakers. They don't count for the Dodgers. None of those teams.
It's just like a very weird situation because it feels like AD was supposed to be that player, right? We had him on the Lakers. We thought he was going to be the best, but he's always injured.
No, wait. But I don't think anyone ever thought Anthony Davis was on the same level as Luka. Even when Davis was younger, he's now 31, by the way. He's past his prime when Luka's just entering it. I don't think we ever thought of Anthony Davis in quite the same class. Anthony Davis might be a Hall of Famer, but this speaks to how good I think Luka is. And of course, we just became NBA experts overnight, Mike. But he literally is like a top 3 player in the game. You probably can't name 3 players you'd rather have on your team right now more than Luka.
I mean, a lot of people are saying LeBron and Luka don't match well. And it's like, who cares? Just get 2 people. Just make a superstar team. Make an all-star team. It doesn't matter. If you have good players on the court, you're going to win. So now,
well, that didn't work for LeBron and Anthony Davis, so maybe they'll try to swap out a different star. But there's a lot to be said about what happens next with LeBron. I do want to get into the LeBron theory. Maybe he's traded this week. Maybe the Lakers actually move on from LeBron. Was he told about this ahead of time? Anthony Davis has the same agent as LeBron. Rich Paul knew about this 48 hours before the trade went down. Anthony Davis's agent. Did LeBron really not know? That's crazy. I think he did know. What's your juiciest conspiracy that you just teed up at the top?
Juiciest conspiracy is our boy, not our boy, but the Mavs boy, Nico Harrison. He famously was involved in Nike negotiations for Steph Curry. Yes. And I found all this out that said he recycled a PowerPoint presentation meant for Kevin Durant.
I saw that.
And that popped up while he was negotiating.
During the Steph Curry meeting to have a Nike as the official shoe of Steph Curry, like in 2013.
Yeah, offered Curry $2.5 million annually compared to Under Armour's $4 million from Under Armour. And where's Under Armour getting this money, first of all?
Yeah.
And then mispronounce his name by his name Stefan instead of Steven or whatever. So it's just like all these things. Fumbled the bag there, but there are a lot of theories. So I wrote down multiple theories here. So I don't know. Do you want me to just list them and then you tell you?
Yes.
Okay.
I'd like to comment on each one.
Okay. So the first one is obviously NBA ratings boost. This was pushed through by I was going to say David Stern, not David Stern, by
Adam Silver. Yeah.
Adam Silver.
Genius move by him.
Saying like, oh, we're going to go down a 10-minute period, 10-minute quarters, blah, blah, blah. We're going to shorten the court. We're going to remove three-pointer. You know that speech he had last week or whatever.
He did that exclusively on Peacock. That speech that Adam Silver did was exclusively on Peacock last week.
It got a lot of press. Everybody was talking about it. Like, are they really going to change the game? Ratings are low. He said, listen, guys, we need a blockbuster trade. We need the big markets to be big markets with big stars. And I need you to push this through. This is an NBA boost. Guess what? Super Bowl's going on. I don't give a fuck. Let's drop this bomb right now. Super Bowl week, press week. Who cares? Luka's getting traded for nothing to go to the Lakers.
Mike, that's the beauty of it. I totally agree with you. He didn't wait till the Super Bowl weekend next weekend during the game. He did it on the one weekend where there's no football. This is the first weekend without NFL football. Obviously, Pro Bowl doesn't count since like August when preseason started. Yeah. If you're ever going to do it any weekend, this was the weekend to do it. 100%. The Saturday night into the Sunday morning. Sunday is dominated by, you turn on the shows today, it's Super Bowl week on Monday morning. It was a Luka Doncic show everywhere you go. The NBA stole at least day one of Super Bowl week. So I love that conspiracy. Again, on the same lines of that, how do you end up on the Lakers of all the teams? This guy, Nico Harrison, wasn't even negotiating with other teams. No one knew this was close to happening, right? Because none of the reporters had it, none of the GMs knew, because this guy wasn't floating this idea anywhere else. So in line with your conspiracy, this is a way to help the Lakers kind of come into the next generation of the future while not even saying any other team had a shot at bringing Luka on.
The next conspiracy, which is a fun one, is the relocation theory, saying the new owners of the Mavs, by the way, Mark Cuban tweeted a few years ago saying if Luka was ever traded, he would rather divorce his wife than have Luka leave the Mavs. So this is how, like, we haven't heard from Mark yet. Cuban has not answered.
Speaking of conspiracy theories, can we back up a little bit? Yeah. Why did Mark Cuban leave the majority ownership of the Dallas Mavericks? Did he ever give a real reason that made us all say this makes sense?
Jeremy, I'll tell you why. The man bought it for like, what, a couple $100 million? Yeah. He walked away, I think, with like $4 billion to sell a majority stake of the Mavs. So he still runs operations. He still has what, like a couple, I don't know, 30%.
He doesn't run the trades in the operations team because he wasn't involved in this. He would have rather left his wife than trade Luka. My thought is, did Adam Silver tell him that Luka had to be traded years ago, and that's why he sold the team? Because why else? Mark Cuban doesn't need the cash flow. That man is not walking around needing the income. He's got plenty.
Still, Jeremy, when you're a billionaire, you just want more billions. And I would 100%, even if I tweeted that and said, I would still sell for, if you gave me $4 billion for something I paid $100 million for, give me the contract right now. I'm signing it away.
I don't know. We need to look into why Mark Cuban actually left. Jerry Jones wants nothing more. He doesn't want to be rich at all. He doesn't want his team to be profitable. He just wants to be in charge. You're telling me Mark Cuban did the opposite. He doesn't want to be in charge. He doesn't want to make decisions. He just wants to cash out the check. That's two different things. The other thing about the Lakers, Mike, I don't know if you're going to get to this on your list. Over history, the Lakers always pull this off. They trade for known superstars in the prime of their career. I went back in time on this. Will Chamberlain joined the Lakers out of nowhere back in the 60s. Magic Johnson signed with the Lakers in free agency. He didn't start his career there. Shaq came along after he dominated early in his career. And then LeBron, of course, joins the Lakers. And now Luka. It's almost like, what spell have the Lakers put across the whole NBA where it's like every 10 to 15 years, they're just allowed to add the greatest superstar in the league, and no one bats an eye. No one questions it. It just happens every 10 or 15 years.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know how they do it. It is a big market, right? It's like you want to go here or New York, maybe Miami. Miami's not that big, or Boston. Like, you want to go to the best place on earth, right? You want to live in LA. Yeah. Now, I don't fully understand what's going on behind the scenes. Did LeBron like promise, hey, you're going to be the face of the franchise. You're going to make so much more money here? Because in the details of it, he's no longer allowed to get the Supermax. So he lost out on like $116 million. Luka lost out on $116 million. So it's like, what was the incentive? Was he, did he know about it? But I want to talk about the relocation, because this is the new owners that purchased the Mavs have a connection to Nevada because they're big gamblers. That's where they got all their money, in hotels and resorts and all this stuff. So the idea is an expansion comes along and they say, hey, move the Mavs to Vegas and we will be that new team, and you make a new expansion team somewhere else. Like, we'll just put a new Mavs team or something else in Dallas. Because it seems like they want to move there. They want gambling in Texas. Texas shot it down last year or the year before. LA obviously did too. We can't get gambling out here at all other than Indian resorts. But I think that's what they want to do. I thought that was like the best motive I could find for somebody like this, saying, hey, we'll sell all our assets. No one wants to watch us anymore. No one wants to. It's just like, oh, we should move. We should relocate the team. This is setting up for a relocation.
Put that down on Sportstradamus' list for the new year. These are two casino conglomerates that now control the majority interest in the Mavericks. It's Adelson and someone else. Deep ties to Vegas. They probably already own tons of casinos on Vegas. What's going to make those casinos and hotels more money? It's another team involved. Oh, what if it's their own team to print money as they do it? We've seen when we started this podcast, which is crazy, Mike, 15 years ago, not one professional team played in Las Vegas, and no one even thought it was possible. It was like, no way could an NFL team ever be in Vegas. Vegas.
Yeah.
That's too crazy. No way could this pro team. Now baseball is doing it with the A's. Hockey did it with the Golden Knights. You got COVID in that arena. You've been there many times. The Las Vegas Raiders. We haven't been to a game. We're going to at some point soon. And now the NBA is the last piece of that puzzle to make it complete. And of course, it's going to be some casino owners who move the team there. It's just weird that at one point Mark Cuban was talking about building a casino in Dallas and like sports book outside of the Dallas stadium, the Metroplex.
It's supposed to be a new like
that on the show.
Compound. Yeah, they wanted to build a big compound around the Mavs' new location, but there's no gambling, so it's like those plans are shot down. So this might be like, hey, Mark, like you're gonna make multi-billions if we move to Vegas and make a lot more money because we'll have casinos in our stadium that you can own a piece of. I think it's a genius idea.
I love that. I love that idea.
Next one is that Kyrie Irving was a Trojan horse sent over by the Lakers to implode the Mavs and start a rift between the two, because obviously they kept mentioning culture. You saw that interview with Jason Kidd and our boy Nico, and they just kept saying, we just want the culture to be right here. We want it all right here. Kyrie Irving, it was a long play from the Lakers, implode the Dallas Mavs. That was another theory out there.
Did Kyrie go straight from the Lakers to the Mavs? He went somewhere else. Brooklyn kicked him out.
He went a few
That's
places.
when he went anti-Semitic there. I think he might not be anti-Semitic anymore. Once you go anti-Semitic, are you always? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. But I just feel like they wanted better culture, and I don't know what that means. I thought that would mean like send Kyrie away, but I guess they're like, no, Kyrie stays. Luka's gone.
That's where I'm going with this. You kind of sent the wrong guy elsewhere if they want to improve the culture if Kyrie's a problem. They actually looked at Kyrie and Luka and they said, Kyrie, you're the model citizen of this group. We want our team to be more like you and not like Luka, which is crazy when, again, he is going to be a top 10 scorer in NBA history. We know this, and he's only 25 years old. It makes no sense why you – I mean, I like the conspiracy of the Kyrie situation, but why you would trade Luka away and keep Kyrie. I would trade Kyrie, obviously, and keep Luka. Also, all this stuff about Anthony Davis being like part of the future and being like this great asset
doesn't make sense.
I never thought of him like that. Even with the Lakers, with LeBron as good as he is, we saw last year the Lakers struggled so much to win their first tournament of the season. The season before that, they barely made the playoffs at all. It's like they haven't even been good with LeBron and Anthony Davis. Why is Anthony Davis and Kyrie just going to go win an NBA title?
Well, it's also like Anthony Davis doesn't really have a personality. And I think that's the hard part about it. It's like you never see this man talking and doing stuff. He's just like looking at you like, what? What's going on? Like, he's not a guy that wants to be the face of the NBA. And I think they want a new face. And here we go. Luka's now the face of the NBA.
But I think Luka is the face of the NBA, and he can be. And this is like going to be great for him with the Lakers. My whole thing is, why did this really happen in Dallas? What went so south with Luka? Because he is a global star. He prints money for them in the way that Ohtani prints money for the Dodgers. It can't just be the on-the-field stuff. Ryan Russillo and Bill Simmons did an emergency podcast. You referenced those. Ryan Russillo said, I don't care if Luka is dribbling the ball down the court with a cigarette in his mouth. I'm not doing this trade. I feel the same way. The man could be so much more overweight, so much more unhealthy, so much worse in every capacity, and I'm still not doing this trade. And that makes me think, what is going on behind the scenes? We know the weight and conditioning is a thing. Mike, we saw him get off the plane in LA. He doesn't look that bad. Honestly, he might be in better shape than us right now, a couple of mid-30s guys. Ourselves. I don't think he's in that bad a shape. Is it alcohol? We saw the video with Michael Finley, the Mavs guy, grabbing the beer from him after he won the title. Is he this raging alcoholic? Could there be drug issues? Could there be things that we don't know that we're not reporting that are right down CSH's alley that would make this more sense?
Well, Jeremy, we got to look at it like we know an Eastern European, right? We know somebody like that, right?
Yeah.
What is his favorite thing to do? Smoke cigs and drink.
Yeah.
Right?
But he's productive at his job. He can still be good. I'm not firing this man for smoking cigs and drinking beer 7 nights a week.
I'm not saying I'm firing him, but I'm just saying like we're just gonna say that's what our Eastern European friend loves to do. And I don't think that's listen, I am 6 foot, whatever, 6'1". I weigh 220 pounds. Luka's 6'6" at 270. He's not that much bigger. No. He's bigger. No. But I feel like he's a tall dude. He can handle that weight.
Mike, this can't be about eating too much junk food or eating too much candy. Dwight Howard had a long career of eating candy in the NBA, and he made it just fine. I refuse to believe it's something this simple. And so something is out there. Obviously, TSH, this is what we do. We do investigative reporting. We're going to find it. You're out there in LA. You're going to make sure you're going to games out there. Mike, this package should have been so much better. The Lakers have other exciting whites that they could have traded to the Mavericks to offset this. Austin Reeves exists. Dalton Connect exists, and they still get to keep them.
I know. I was going to say, I want to apply for some press passes. Did you see the White House opened up to press passes? Yeah. It would be great to go there and just ask some questions.
We've done some political talk the last few weeks. I think we should submit that to the White House and see if they'll have us.
Yeah, see if they'll have us. But yeah, we got to find out what's going on. I'm sure more details will come out. We haven't heard from Mark Cuban yet, as far as I know. We haven't heard from, it seems like you saw photos of like, who's the GM that kind of looks like a celebrity of
the Lakers GM, Pelinka?
Yeah, he looks like a celebrity.
Not the Mavericks GM. You're right. The guy was like so bad in all his press conferences, and he butchered the thing with Nike. He also there's this other theory that doesn't make sense, but there's a theory that he was at Nike for so long, and he got to work with Kobe and the greats and the ones who worked so hard. And because Luka wasn't that, he thought the only way to win championships was with hard work. But I would say 7 months ago, the Mavs were in the NBA Finals with a chance to win a championship. They ran through the West. What do we talk about the West? It's always so much tougher than the East. Just get there and you win. They didn't do it against the Bucks or the Celtics, whoever they played. But they could have had a chance, and it's just so crazy that this happened. And it's so bad. There's more to uncover, Mike. If I was a Mavericks fan, it's like worse than being a Dolphins fan. It's worse than being a Jets fan. You gotta sell that shit. You gotta get rid of your season tickets. You can't go to games this year. You have to like buy a TV package to watch another team. Like you can't give that team money for what they did to you unless something else comes out that makes it all worth it.
It's a sad time to be a Dallas fan in general. Like you got the Cowboys, you got the Stars, you got all these. It's just
you thought Jerry's head coach was gonna be the worst thing to happen last week, and then boom, that happened. That's brutal.
Really wiped out. Maybe it was Jerry. Maybe he's like, I need something big to happen in Dallas to get people off my back.
Yeah, they don't care about the Cowboys issues anymore. It's wild.
Real quick, I want to talk about Magic Mind. Jeremy, last few weeks, I've been taking Magic Mind almost every single day. I got Aaron hooked on Magic Mind. My sharpness. Beyond sharp now. I'm locked in. It's almost like I want it every day. I'm like, I just need to lock in, taking my Magic Mind. If you want to try Magic Mind, which you should, you just got to try it and you will honestly believe it. Go to magicmind.com/TSH, get 45% off. I got Erin hooked. She went on a little work trip and she's like, I need to make sure I'm bringing Magic Mind because I want to make sure I'm like sharp and ready
every time
for all this.
Mike, you're building her mental wealth, and that's what I love about Magic Mind. It is going to make you more money inside your brain, and that's what matters the most. It's time-released caffeine. There's no stress. There's no coffee involved. It's not the jitters you get from your morning coffee. It's just calm, focus, clarity, and it's clean energy. It's actually healthier than coffee even. So I think Magic Mind is a great thing for your mental clarity. You know, I do it on Mondays, get my week started the right way. That's how I deliver these fresh takes in the podcast. And we're recommending it with that promo code. It's really cheap when you use it.
Yeah. magicmind.com/TSH, get 45% off. Link will be in the description. Jeremy, do you want to talk football? Well, obviously NBA derailed us here, but I don't know where you want to go from here.
Luka hijacked Super Bowl week. We have not talked about our props yet. Of course, in our Super Bowl contest, I have the Eagles. You have the Chiefs. I think we have a big steak dinner with tons of wine involved in this. I don't feel good about it. I just want you to know I think the Chiefs will win despite me being on the Eagles side of things.
Is this the year? Are we going to swap again?
Can I swap?
Remember
you're not giving up the Chiefs. I think I got the Chiefs like 3 years ago from you. You never swapped again. Yeah.
And I won. Yeah. Well, I have manifesto rules if you want to go over some how to bet the Super Bowl, because I think a lot of times you're overwhelmed. A lot of stuff's happening. You have millions and millions of bets to go through. Okay. Here's the way we want to look at it. I said this last year. Look for to bet two-way props, over, under, or yes or no. So you don't want like, will he get 118 yards to 124 yards? Don't bet those. Those are not good bets.
It's really hard to land in those categories.
Yes, I will say I am betting the exact score for like 15,000 to 1, but that's
Are you going to give that to us, or is that going to change the
odds? No, I'm giving that to you. Yeah.
Well, what's the score? It's
I can give you a score here. My score is. Where is it? I'm going to go. It'll be Eagles 27, Chiefs 34. $50 wins me $6,550.
Holy shit, Mike.
I was looking up. I was trying to I looked up what was the most they scored, what was the least they scored, how's it going to go. I like this combination of a few field goals, a lot of touchdowns. I like it. Fun game. I definitely don't want that like Rams, whatever game that we watched.
That 10-3 game. It rained in LA that day. That was the first sign of problems. We should have never gotten together once it rains in LA on Super Bowl Sunday.
No, it's the worst. Okay. Avoid multi-way props. Kansas City, tie, something like that. You don't want like a tie, win or lose, because those are bad. those are options there as well.
Okay.
You don't want the passing yards, which I already said. You don't want the needle in a haystack bets. You don't want something that's going to pay you like what I just said. But
Mike, you love those. You've bet on safety before. I feel like you've won on a safety Super Bowl bet. Like you love the needle in the haystack.
Yeah, it was that Denver Seattle game. Yeah. You don't listen. You can do them. So the key is it's fun to bet $5 on like 20 long shot props, but do not bet $100 on 20.
Be smart with the long shots, but your manifesto is where you can really sink your hard-earned money into.
You just want to make sure that you're really focused on the Super Bowl and make sure the big bets, like if you want Kansas City to win, do Kansas City money line or do an alt line, do something that you believe in.
Okay.
Listen, there's always going to be a vig when you're betting something that is more likely to win and you want to win money. It's about getting that bankroll bigger, not losing it. Okay?
And you always want to think about the sure things. Now, do you have any soft bets that maybe are certain to hit this year?
Listen, last year or the year before, I had a lot of like, what song will be performed first? I'm not even going near it because I was yelled at and banned from betting these.
The rules changed since you pulled that off.
They have. So the soft bets I think might be illegal, even though I would say Gatorade color is kind of a soft bet too.
Someone knows. My whole thing, a soft bet is if someone in the world knows the answer and it's already like decided and it just hasn't reached Michael's mind yet. Because what if it does reach Michael's mind? He's on TikTok. He's on all the dark web things. Yeah. He's all over the place. What if it does reach his mind and allows him to make free money? I just want to make free money too. I don't want to mean you can't. I want to make it as well.
Well, we're in the playoff pool. I'm still in it. You didn't join this year.
I didn't. Who's winning? Any shout outs to the winner or the losers?
Oh, we have the most people out by this week that I've ever seen before. I think half the league is already out.
Which is weird because like the Chiefs were predicted and then the Eagles are like second predicted after the Lions. So that's
well, weird. I wish I could go back in time and tell my previous self just to bet Kansas City money line. I did not do that.
I feel like you've told yourself that on this podcast. You just failed to make the bet.
Yeah, so I'm doing it this year. I'm betting Kansas City to win the Super Bowl. I have a ton of bets. I have like angles or where you want to go with it. I'm staying away from the bets that are obvious this year. For fun bets. If you want to make money, we're doing Kansas City money line. We're putting the entire bankroll on that. But I have like prop bets, same game parlays. I'm going to tell you the bets I've already made, and then I'm going to go through some other ones I'd like to have.
Okay.
Here's a really fun one. I want this to happen so bad. I want Kansas City to win. They have 31 points. Now, this might mess up my score, actually, now that I think about it. Either team to kick a winning walk-off field goal. Plus 650. That sounds like a fun prop. At the end of the game, they're tied. You go in for that kick. I got to readjust my final score, though, because then it would be a different score.
I love the idea. I love the idea of the pressure on the kickers in that moment. I feel like I can't remember a Super Bowl that came down to a kick like that. It's almost like I know football is called football and it's all about the foot, but it's really not. And it's like if a kicker really chooses who's going to win the Super Bowl, that seems like a problem for America.
I also wanted to go like some weird touchdowns because I really think these guys that don't get a lot of action during the year might score more. Yeah. So here's a really fun one. This is a same game parlay. Let me know if you like this because these are going in the contest. Saquon Barkley, anytime scorer.
That's easy. That's like the automatic. It used to be Kelsey back in the day, like 3 Super Bowls ago. Now it's Saquon.
Kansas City money line.
Easy.
And Noah Gray to score anytime touchdown. I think all the focus is going to be on Travis Kelce. Guess what? They got another big white stud tight end there that can catch balls. This, Jeremy, 15-1, $50 wins you $800.
That's a great bet. Noah Gray is no stud. What he is a blocker who gets uncovered when he runs a route, and that's why he might catch a touchdown. I'll tell you this, Andy Reid loves to get people involved when he has 2 weeks to game plan like this. I made money last year or 2 years ago, one of these, Mike, on a Kadarius Toney Super Bowl touchdown, just because it's like he doesn't get the ball much, but he looks for him in the red zone, and it's like, who's that guy? Is it like a Hollywood Brown? Is it a Juju Smith-Schuster? Think about those Chiefs secondary and third options like Noah Gray. Who is Andy Reid thinking about in the 2 weeks? Who can he attack on the Eagles defense? Someone random from the Chiefs offense, maybe 2 guys will score touchdowns in this game.
What I saw from the Buffalo game, somebody highlighted it saying they stole plays from Buffalo and used those plays against Buffalo in the game. Like the exact like routes and everything, and like running around. It was the exact play. So I'm going to look at some like Eagle things.
Oh.
I have a lot of data on the Eagles in my chat GPT, and I'm going to try that at some Kansas City.
You would think the Bills defense knows the routes are coming because they got those run against them in practice, if that is really how it works.
I don't know. I don't know how that works. Here's another one. I'm doing I love some same game parlays. We got DeAndre Hopkins. Hasn't scored a touchdown in a few weeks. Kind of scary.
Is he being phased out because he's old and slow, or is he being rested because they knew they'd make the Super Bowl and this man is about to go for 12 and 140?
So here's my thought. Probably going to retire soon. This is like, get DeAndre Hopkins a Super Bowl ring. This man was one of the best receivers for a very long time. You want him? Are you going to look up the last time he scored a touchdown?
I'm looking up his age actually because he's not that old. He's 32, Mike. He's like so much younger than you.
But this is like, could he get here again? This is like one time for him. He's a vet in the league.
Yeah.
I want DeAndre to score. DeAndre Hopkins to score, Kareem Hunt to score, AJ Brown to score, and Saquon to score. $50 wins you $3,300 on that same game parlay.
That's a lot of scores, but that's awesome. I need to know who is getting to watch Chiefs practice this week. Who can give us some inside info on, is Hopkins old and washed, or have they been saving him for this moment? Because these certain things can tell us. Like, honestly, I could see Hopkins having 1 catch for 5 yards. I could see him having 12 catches. So, like, where does he lie in between? One person that won't have 12 catches is Travis Kelce, because that man is old and slow and incapable of that at this point.
Yeah, I'm going to stay away from a lot of Travis Kelce stuff. I'm really trying to go obscure because I feel like those are the ones that might hit. Little small bets on those, but just all my money on Kansas City to win the Super Bowl. And maybe one mix in there of like, some Kareem Hunt and money line Kansas City to win.
I like that.
Yeah.
I would bet on, I'm not seeing these odds in front of me now. Jalen Hurts, 0 passing touchdowns. I want to fade Jalen Hurts, the passer. It's a thought I have. Ever since I saw him playing college football with my own eyes, I went to the SEC to scout Jalen Hurts when he was playing for Nick Saban at Alabama. And that man was not an accurate passer. He really hasn't become an accurate passer in the NFL. His decision-making isn't great. I'm looking to fade Jalen, not with the legs, but more so the passing.
I like that. I'm going to look it up. So you're saying 0 passing touchdowns?
For the Eagles, yeah. I got to get plus money on that, right?
I think, let me see. Listen, there's so many. I don't
sure,
even
they'll score.
There's no search.
Touchdown.
The problem is there's no search button. Touchdown scores, game lines. I need touchdown. I'll look through it. Receiving props, passing props. Here we go. Passing touchdowns. Jalen Hurts. We want 0. You can hit 1+ is minus 355.
Minus for so give me a 0 for like plus 355, right?
There's not even, they don't give you a 0. I can go to like 2 or 3 or 4.
Come on, what kind of book is this? I'm just giving you theories. I didn't.
No,
do my
I
own
like that. I like that a lot.
I'm fading Jalen the passer. AJ Brown is probably gonna have some big catches. I'm not saying a touchdown, but the guy is a big game player going back to college. So look for him possibly. I don't know that the Chiefs have a corner his size to cover him.
What do you think about my exact score on the?
What was it again?
34-27. Is that what I had? 34-27.
Wow. Well, the Eagles score 27 points. I don't know, Mike, especially if they're not passing for touchdowns. Did you go a little high there? We talked about the 10-3 Super Bowl that we watched at your house.
It's not going to be 10-3.
A lot of times these first quarters are really slow scoring because guys haven't played in 2 weeks. They're tight. They've been standing on the field, the whole national anthem and everything. If you have like a under first quarter, maybe it gets to your number by the 4th and everyone is celebrating when it does. But maybe like a low scoring first, or maybe like even like a 0-0.
What do you think? Eagles winning the first quarter, plus 280.
That's a big plus, right?
Well, winning the first quarter, just be like up 3-0 in the first quarter.
Seems really doable. Mahomes gonna be standing on the field for 40 minutes waiting for kickoff.
$100 on that one. I like it.
Oh my God, he's throwing money out.
I like that one a lot. That one makes sense, right? You can like see it, like okay, they can win it. Usually Mahomes, they like coming from behind, right? Like they did it with Buffalo.
Yeah. Honestly, the Eagles will have the lead in the 4th quarter, and Mahomes will win the Super Bowl. If there's a bet on that, if there's a line there, I'll take it too.
Which one? What is it?
Eagles lead in the 4th quarter, but lose.
Ooh, okay.
That? That's like very specific. I don't know if you'll find it.
Yeah, I don't know. There's it just takes so long to go through all these like Super Bowl specials, Swifty specials. Are they going to get married? Are they going to do this?
I don't think they're getting married, but that man is retiring. Whether he retires on the field or whether he loses
100%.
and retires in like March on Instagram, that man is retiring in some way.
He's definitely retiring. I'm going to probably do a Substack of all the bets. I'm going to finalize them by Friday.
Okay.
There's a lot of bets. So many bets to go through. I think it's going to get a little sharper by the end of the week, but if you're going on these obscure ones, I think you might have a little juicier line because they probably want you to take it on like, get a random touchdown, get Kareem Hunt 2 touchdowns. Who knows? That could happen.
I mean, Pacheco's not out there much anymore. Kareem Hunt could have 2 touchdowns.
Well, Pacheco came back from that injury, and that made me think, like, how much are they going to use him? Like, this is the time to use him, but he was the guy that was like the speed guy, right, in the pass catcher, and Hunt was more of the guy that was like big ground and pound. We're going to get 2 yards.
Goal line back.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know.
We'll
so
see
a lot
what
of stuff.
It's exciting. Tell me about the Super Bowl setup for the house. Where are you watching? Who are you watching with this year? Because we're not together.
A lot of kids this year.
I thought you learned your lesson last year. Before was your son there even last year?
No, he wasn't there. Just we had other kids. We had other kids there. Adults we're going to try to put in the living room and kids in the den with the door open, so maybe they play outside a little bit.
Oh, you're just bragging about your 3:30 Super Bowl kickoff time in California. We love that. So Mike, nice. Sunday night, 6:40 over here. It's like I'm going to wait all day for this game to kick off. And then I have a quick turn Monday morning. It's like you can't even celebrate the game. You got to get ready to go. Again, why is Monday not a holiday after? Why do I have President's Day the next week? Do we really have a long line of presidents doing good things in this country to celebrate them? I'd much rather celebrate Super Bowl Monday, as we've been saying.
Just take off. Why don't you just fly out for the game? Fly out Saturday, fly home Monday.
I did that once, and it was a 10-3 game, so I don't think I should do that.
Okay, well, dude, try another time. But yeah, I'm excited for the game. I think Kansas City's going to win.
So do I. For the record, we both do. The Eagles, I mean, it's all been written. This whole story's been written. It's like the Luka trade. Everything's predictable. Everything is conspiratorial. Everything has been said. The Chiefs are winning the three-peat. Maybe Andy Reid retires. Something changes them next week. You don't win 3 in a row and come back all the same. So if they win this one, I will bet you everything that either Kelsey or Andy Reid step away.
I just think the games that the Eagles lost, it seems like people can take advantage of them at some point, or whatever's happening with Jalen Hurts. Sometimes he gets in his head. So I feel like Andy's ready for this. I think they're going to dominate. Honestly, I might put in like a blowout. It might be like 27 to 13.
They haven't beaten anyone like that all year. They played the Raiders twice. They didn't do that.
Weird things happen in the Super Bowl.
But the whole thing is the Chiefs like play close games. So that's like a saving grace where like I'm not impressed with the Eagles. I'm not impressed with Jalen Hurts, but the Chiefs will keep you in it because they're not very dominant. A lot of people think this is the Chiefs' worst team of the last 3 Super Bowl years. We'll see about that. Also something crazy. They traded Tyreek Hill the summer before this run started.
Yeah.
They traded him and then went to 3 straight Super Bowls.
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
Good show. Check out thesportshangover.com. Follow us on Substack. Subscribe to us on YouTube, TikTok. Get 45% off Magic Mind. Use the code TSH. Just go to magicmind.com/TSH. TSH. See ya.
All right.
All right. All done.
Got a lot of props out there. You're doing big money bets all over.